Good evening, baseball fans, and welcome back to the channel. We've got a story that perfectly encapsulates the wild, unscripted drama that only baseball can provide. It involves a highly touted rookie, a significant career milestone, and then, in a blink, a chaotic, bench-clearing altercation. We're talking about Baltimore Orioles rookie Coby Mayo, whose first MLB RBI on Saturday against the Chicago White Sox sparked a confrontation that sent both dugouts onto the field. Coby Mayo, a top prospect's frustrating start. Before we dive into the incident, let's set the stage for Coby Mayo. This is a player with immense expectations. He's ranked as the number 14 prospect in all of baseball by MLB Pipeline. Praised for his prodigious power, which is graded as ++. He's a central piece of the Orioles' exciting youth movement, expected to be an everyday player in their infield for years to come. However, his big league career hasn't exactly started with a bang. Coming into Saturday's game, Mayo was hitting a paltry .094, .186, .094 in 59 plate appearances across 2024 and 2025. He was still waiting for his first extra base hit, a stark contrast to his minor league dominance. So, when he stepped to the plate in the fourth inning, the anticipation for any kind of positive production was high. The play, first RBI, turned sour. The moment arrived in the fourth inning. With a runner on second base, Coby Mayo finally delivered, hitting an RBI single to score Ryan O'Hearn from second base. It was his first major league RBI in his 22nd career game, a significant milestone. A moment of relief, a positive step for a struggling young player. But this being baseball, and specifically, a rookie moment for Coby Mayo, that positive quickly spiraled into pure chaos, as Mayo was admiring his first RBI and trying to advance. Chicago White Sox third baseman Josh Rojas cut off a throw from left fielder Joshua Palacios, catching Mayo trying to sneak into second base. What followed was a classic baseball rundown between first and second. Mayo was caught quickly, and the play was essentially over. The shove and the bench clearing. But then, things got physical, as Mayo was being pursued by White Sox shortstop Lenyn Sosa. He responded by giving Sosa a hard shove before first baseman Miguel Vargas tagged him out. It was a clear, aggressive push from Mayo as he was being pursued. Immediately, both Sosa and Vargas took exception to the shove. As Mayo laid on the ground after being tagged out, Sosa and Vargas immediately confronted him, clearly upset by the contact. Mayo, in turn, didn't appreciate the treatment, and as he stood up and walked away, he gave Sosa another push. And just like that, the fuse was lit. Cue the benches clearing. Both the Orioles and White Sox dugouts emptied onto the field, spilling into a heated, shouting match. While it didn't escalate into a full-blown brawl, it was a tense scene. A clear sign of simmering frustrations, all sparked by a rookie's aggressive play. For what it's worth, the Orioles did manage to win the game 4-2, but they still sit in last place in the AL East at 21-36. Which probably doesn't help anyone's overall mood. The rule, the intent, and the rookie explanation. So, what exactly was Coby Mayo thinking? Viewed charitably, his shove could be seen as him attempting to draw an interference call on Sosa while running out of the baseline to avoid the tag. This is a tactic sometimes taught, aimed at exploiting a specific rule. The rule in question here is often referred to as Type 2 obstruction, where if an infielder who is not in possession of the ball impedes a runner while out of the base path, the runner could be awarded the next base. However, that tactic doesn't work so well when you instigate the contact with your outstretched arms, especially with a fielder who has run out of the base path. You can't initiate the contact and then claim obstruction. After the game, Mayo confirmed that this was indeed his intent, speaking to MASN's Roch Cabaco. "Yeah, obviously. Just trying to get to second base and trying to get into scoring position for Heston Kjerstad," Mayo said. "Cuts it off and got into a rundown. Obviously. Just being told in the minor leagues to try to stay in a rundown. And I thought he was in the baseline and trying to get some contact. Didn't mean for it to escalate. I wasn't trying to do that. It just did." He then added a strong statement of team solidarity. "The guys always have your back. I think everyone in here will fight for one another, not literally. But, everyone has each other's back. I think that's just what happened." looking out for teammates, and we'll do the same thing for them. Orioles interim manager Tony Mansolino provided a little more detail, confirming the tactical element behind the play but ultimately agreeing with the umpires for not buying Mayo's attempt. Now he's an infielder, right? So when we're in spring training talking about rundowns, one of the things that we constantly talk about with our infielders is not crossing the line, because if there's contact with the infielder, then I think they call it a type 2 obstruction, and then you automatically get second base. Mansolino explained. So, I think instinctually Coby kind of sought out the contact right there with the infielder. Which, visually, it probably didn't look the best, but I think most coaches will probably go, not a bad baseball play. Just didn't work in our favor. Umpire made a good call. A learning curve for the future star. Ultimately, this was a quintessential rookie moment for Coby Mayo. It was a play born out of competitive fire, a desire to get to second, and perhaps a slight misapplication of a tricky baseball rule. His career hasn't started off on the best foot, and the pressure on a top prospect can be immense. Despite his struggles at the plate and the lack of that first extra base hit, Mayo has every opportunity to become an everyday player in the Orioles infield. Given his immense talent and plus power, the team certainly needs his bat to get going. But unfortunately, even his first MLB RBI showed that he still has some learning to do, both in terms of strategic baseball execution and perhaps managing his competitive instincts on the field. It's a moment that will certainly be on the highlight reels. Perhaps not for the reason he initially intended, but it will be a memorable part of his journey. What do you think of Coby Mayo's actions? Was it a smart, albeit poorly executed, baseball play, or just a hot-headed rookie moment? And how do you think this will impact him going forward? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more in-depth #MLB #baseball news and analysis. Baltimore Orioles rookie Coby Mayo's first career MLB RBI on Saturday quickly escalated into a chaotic, bench-clearing moment of his own making. In his 22nd big league game, the highly touted prospect finally drove in a run with an RBI single in the fourth inning. However, the play turned sour when Chicago White Sox third baseman Josh Rojas cut off a throw and caught Mayo trying to sneak into second base. This initiated a rundown between first and second. Mayo was tagged out quickly, but not before giving White Sox second baseman Lenyn Sosa a hard shove. Both Sosa and first baseman Miguel Vargas took exception, confronting Mayo as he lay on the ground. Mayo, still frustrated, pushed Sosa again as he walked away, which is when the benches cleared. The Orioles ultimately won the game 4-2, but the incident overshadowed Mayo's milestone. Viewed charitably, the 23-year-old Mayo's shove could be seen as an attempt to draw an interference call, trying to get into Sosa's way while running out of the baseline to avoid the tag. However, this tactic rarely works when you instigate the contact yourself. Mayo confirmed this was his intention after the game, stating he was just trying to get to second base and trying to get some contact. He added, "Didn't mean for it to escalate. I wasn't trying to do that. It just did." He also praised his teammates, saying, "The guys always have your back. Everyone has each other's back." Orioles interim manager Tony Mansolino provided more context, explaining that in rundowns, infielders are taught not to cross the line to avoid contact that could lead to an obstruction call. He seemed to agree with the umpires not buying Mayo's attempt, saying, "I think instinctually Coby kind of sought out the contact right there, visually. It probably didn't look the best, but I think most coaches will probably go, not a bad baseball play. Just didn't work in our favor. Umpire made a good call." Ultimately, it was a rookie moment for Mayo, a top 100 prospect whose big league career hasn't started as smoothly as hoped.